March day 16th came with just one away win, and that came from the Southwest Derby, the Lafayette Derby, also Nasarawa United pipped Lobby Stars. Rangers, defending champion, continued their unbeaten run, 9 games without a loss, a reminisce of what they did last season that made them won the NPFL title. And of course, the high-flying Ikorodu City suffered the first loss in 6 games as they were down at the Southeast Asia Stadium right there in Bayelsa. Because Lana Boso getting the better of Nuruddin Aweroro. Welcome to another episode of the Intercontinental Sport TV NPFL podcast show. This is brought to you, powered by ISTV for short, or Intercontinental Sport TV. And of course, we are here for March day 16 review to take you through everything that happened over the weekend. We got 5 goals thriller in Jos. The team that left it late to beat Heartland. Heartland has now turned themselves to a team that can always score. If you're not careful, you have a chance of picking a point. Welcome to the show once again. We're live at Matrix Lounge and Bar in this Basharu Ibadan. Cool, serene environment, and of course, a place to always be for your enjoyment. Big ups to Matrix for giving us this opportunity to always shoot anytime we want. So, broadcast the NPFL via ISTV. Don't forget that you can also follow us on our social media handles, and we're here to give you the very, very best. I got Victor here with me. Victor, I call him Ramos. Reasons best known to me. They call him Victor Makefa when he's doing his DJ stuff. But he's the son of the grandson of the former Super Eagles International. In case you don't know, you are knowing now. That's Orijo. That he didn't give me money to pay. I'll collect the money later, anyway. And Victor Kone is here. Victor, how you doing?
Oh, well, a good feeling. The only away win.
Yeah?
And my favorite team in the NPFL.
First away win.
Yeah, you talk about how they have suffered and tested for this, and the prayers and fasting have worked finally. But then I think there's been excitement all around. We had a number of derbies, but there was no report of chaos. I think that's the biggest win.
Biggest win, yeah.
Over the course of the weekend, because usually, you would get reports of, at this place,
especially the Northern Affair. Northern Affair, yeah.
It was quite crazy to think about it, and I'm happy that we went through that weekend unscathed. Some people, were actually excited to see that we can actually talk about the league, and then what looks like might just be some disturbances. We're talking about the plethora of games that will be going down in Ikene.
Yeah.
The Remo Star Stadium. You talk about the Chan Eagles camped in there.
Yeah.
Flamingos also in there. NNL fixtures going down there. And aside that,
Remo
Stars also going to be involved. The NPFL fixtures going to be there. And we went through that weekend, and there were no problems. It was something beautiful to actually behold. And so I'm very excited for what we called over the weekend, because come on, what's not to like? What's not to like outside of it? So, I think bring on the week. We're ready.
Bring it on, we are ready. We got 9 games went down. 8 games went down, rather. Kwara United, the Imba postponed because the Imba was involved. The CAF Confed Cup yesterday, they came from 2 goals down to draw someone like draw. The People's Elephant are now on just a point, third on the group. Can they still qualify? You have a double header, and of course that journey might just start this coming Sunday. Today we'll be having Aqua United against Belen Insurance. 2 teams are in trouble. Trouble means trouble. Let's see the one who can come out fine in that. But look at all the result of games that went on Saturday and Sunday. Nasarawa United, People Lobby Stars in the Battle of Lafia. Both teams are playing their home game in Lafia, which is the stadium of Nasarawa United. And of course, Nasarawa United telling them, we are the owner of this pitch. 1-0. They dealt with Dabul and his boys. 1-0 over Lobby Stars. Sunshine Stars, trouble Sunshine Stars. I don't know if they've announced any manager yet, but there's a time for Shooting Stars to pick a first ever away win. That was the way to Sunshine Stars. I didn't even play in the Jebu, the Dipodino Stadium. They went to Ikene and Shooting Stars said, hey, this is our biggest chance. Home away from home. We are both on the neutral ground. Then, why not take the victory here? And of course, Alex Agawa scored the only goal. Shooting Stars won 1-0. There were big ups to Mustafa for those magnificent saves. I saw some of those saves and I feel like, wow, these are television saves. These are saves that could propel a goalkeeper, and any team anywhere in the world will say, oh, man, I think I have to break the bank for this guy. Yesterday, 5-goal thriller in Kano, in Jos rather. Plateau United thought they have lost when Heartland went 2-1 up in the second half, but they rallied back. 3-2 win over Heartland, and of course, the 5-goal thriller. Rangers did enough. 1-0 win over Rivers United. They pipped Rivers. Of course, like I said in my introduction, it's now 9 games for Rivers, 6 draws and 8 games for Rivers. No, 9 games for for Rangers, 6 draws, 3 wins. That's huge for Rangers International, pipping Rivers 1-0. Canopilas did enough. 1-0 win over Katsina United. Abia Warriors were 2-0 better than Niger Tornadoes. Bayelsa ended the Kodu City unbeaten run with a 1-0 win over the Oga Boys, and Remo Stars in the Kenya defeated El-Kanemi Warriors by 2-0. Those are the result of matches that went on yesterday. We'll still take a look at the table, but then let's just go straight first. More interested in what happened in Jos, where Plateau United got the better of Heartland by 3-2. Heartland, there's something I'm impressed about Heartland, Victor.
Okay.
Even if they will lose, they are sure better scoring goals. They've been getting the goals of late, scoring enough goals. Yes, Plateau at home has been in trouble for a while. They needed that victory to shoot up. But I'm more about Heartland. When they score that chunk of goals away from home, something is telling Amunike is unlocking something, and teams should be weary at this moment.
Well, no lies about that. You talk about, what they have done so far this season, and if there's one thing you would say maybe they should work on, their compact, ness in defense. But I think Amunike has gotten them ticking well as as an attacker. Well, he played as a forward back in his days.
Yeah.
You'd say maybe he's just bringing out, his wealth of experience to bear on the boys, and it's been exciting to actually see them make those movements up front. I mean, one of the things that you notice steadily over them is how they move the ball in the final third before getting into the final third. You always get to see that, but then would they be able to hold forth, behind the midfield lines? That's another question on its own. But kudos to them, and I think at some point they will find it. But some teams, the way they play, it doesn't really allow them to see how they can adjust defensively. But then I think it's something that if Amunike wants to remain in this league, remain right there at the top of whatever is happening in Heartland, I think he needs to delve into the defensive aspect and see if he can bring someone else in to help him manage the affairs defensively, or if it's that he will have to look around and find solutions. I think it's about time that they start looking into that. I think that's the only thing that they need to actually focus on at this point. Scoring, no problems, but holding forth, that's where the problem lies. And I think they have to find the balance, because that's what the league is all about. It's a marathon, and at some point, when you don't exactly get the goals despite creating a lot of chances, what holds for you? And it's one of the reasons why you find a club like Shooting Stars who are fifth now as we speak. Why? Because despite all the happenings up front for them, you would notice that the goalkeeper department is solid, and the defense is staunch. Yesterday, something happened in that game. Talifake was substituted, was out for Taimuri Tala. Taimuri Tala came on, was injured, and someone else had to come in. As Adilo Balagadi had to come in. And you could say the same thing happened also when they played against Remo Stars in the Kenya. there was a man who was out, was carded, time later that the same man. And it was quite interesting to see that Biniyo Lukman came on and played at right back and was still able to hold front. And you talk about the coordination and the steadiness of the likes of Desmond Ojetefan and his defensive partners. So I think Heartland need to look inwards and find solutions as fast as possible. I think that's what's going to save them. That's what's going to propel them to actually get all the benefits that they should be getting.
Heartland have scored 16 goals, but have conceded 17. That's a poor defense. I mean, when you get goals, you'll be able to, defend them. Let's go straight to the Cathedral, where prayers were answered as Rangers drowned the Rivers. 1-0. And they moved third on the log, 2 points behind the Remo Stars and Rivers. Now, for those who said the Rivers will not be a title contender, should you guys start eating your words?
It's just an interesting thing. Finito magic working, but at the Cathedral, the Rivers had to bow down and worship, and departed ways, with a defeat, a legs in between their tails. But then you talk about that run for Fidelis Elechukwu's. Well, he was not the one in charge, but then despite his absence, it's not the first time that he's been absent, and they still got those needed points. You talk about how it was for them continuing that run. I said something before the start of the weekend somewhere, and I said, last season we were watching as Rangers went on a fine unbeaten run.
10 games.
And from that run, it was important for them as they clawed their way back to winning the league.
From 10th position.
I mean, we were looking at the likes of Doma, Lobi, and then Enyimba, and then all of a sudden, from nowhere,
Rangers came, surging
back, and this season,
everybody
we have seen them stumble and falter
as
defending champions, but they have been able to hold forth. They have been able to show us that we can still do this job. So it's kudos to what they have in their kitty, and I think I want to see them maintain that going forward.
I want to see them maintain that going forward. Rangers are third on the log, are back in the title race, and they don't want to write them off again because they got a lot in their arsenal. I mean, to see if they can rescue back-to-back. The last thing I won back-to-back NPFL, that should be Canopilas, if I'm not wrong. I think since then, we haven't seen anything. Maybe Rangers might just be that team to bring that and, of course, get that back-to-back win. Of course, still talking games that went down, and we leave the Cathedral, and let's go straight to Ikene. Shooting Stars' first away win of the season. Propelled them to 24 points. If you check Shooting Stars to Remo Stars as well as the top on goals difference, they are just 5 points away. Should that dream, at the beginning of the season, they wanted to win the league. It was out there. Management, the players, the fans were hopeful of Continental. And despite the way Shooting Stars started the league, the season, people were not sure of what is going to happen. All of a sudden, March day 16, Shooting Stars are in the title race.
Are they?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Mathematically.
Oh, God.
24 points, 29 points, 5 points. Mathematically in the title race. But the big question is, can Shooting Stars really fight for the title? Or this is just a fake life?
Well, okay, now looking at how you have coined it now, well, Arsenal
point, if you check
Shooting the title race, and they are how many points behind?
I think
7 points or thereabouts, maybe.
Should be 6 points.
So, but then I do not think that they are in the title race. Well, not yet for me. Remember, Enyimba have about 3 games outstanding now, and they're just 3 points behind Shooting Stars, and give or take,
by the time they win those, maybe 2 of the 2 games.
You start to think about what happens if they win one of those games. They get tied on points and all of that. And they're not the only ones with outstanding who are hovering around that zone. But I think Shooting Stars are quietly turning a corner, looking at their last few results. The last time they came to Ikene, I'm happy that they got the victory and they were able to hold on to that narrow win, because looking at what happened the last time they came to Ikene, they were not excited, and you remember right there the manager was saying that they were going to keep working
Yeah.
on stuff. And yes, people might say it was just Sunshine Stars, but it was a Southwestern derby,
And
and
a big away win.
and we have seen them play against some sides that we thought they would roll over, but
Yeah, and they still falter.
So it was good for them that they got that victory. And I like, there's something I like about the game. In the absence of some key players, they were able to do some things. Samuel Ayorinde was not there, the regular partner for Anthony Okachi up front, and yet they still found a way to deliver the goods. Now, I was interested in how it would work. Looking at the midfield, the selection, we had Abulaji Sakin, amongst those playing the game, and then there was Abubakar Aliyu, and then I looked at the midfield, Tijani Kabiru combining with Alex Agawa. How was it going to work? And it was exciting to see Alex Agawa, like he always loves doing, he bumps forward.
Yeah.
I think I want to see more of the manager utilizing that weapon of ease, because it's an added advantage, and I think he needs to find information around that. Not just him, but the way he makes others play better, in moments, is something that the manager can bank on to actually help them. When you look at some certain qualities in certain players, you say managers have to harness that and make sure that they utilize it. And I think the way he forays and all of that, at some point, yes, he's tireless when he's running and all of that. He's got a good burst of lung, but I think also that if he finds the right fool around him, someone that will mop around while he's away, because so that they won't get broken on the counter, and then he finds a way to recycle possession in transition without him being in there. Maybe just him going on to finalize things in the final third as he bumps forward with the ball moving around him. I think it's something that they need to be able to do. And one of the things that would work for them in that way is to have a striker that will drop in defense. If he wants to stick with their 4-4-2, a striker that will drop deeper in the hole to create that space around. So looking at that, I think 3SC have a good thing going on. Return of some players who were injured, showing that yes, he's back to that level. Ayodeji Bamidele also showing that he's got that in his kitty. Desmond still holding forth, and right backs going injured, no problems for them. And I'm liking the spark that Joshua Akpan is starting to bring. Remember, he was shining right there at the Lagos Salami Stadium at the last home game, and look at what he was able to do. The tone that he had, leading to the build-up for that goal. He's turning midfield, coming from the flanks, coming inwards, received the ball, had the defender pressuring, but he was still able to turn him around and then drag another extra defender. And right in the channels, the brilliance of the movement from Alex Agawa was not anything to be downplayed, because it only takes intellect, football intelligence, to be able to move in that direction. And the way he moved, look at the flick. He was not waiting for the ball must come to me. No, I'm a midfielder. No, he was running into that space, knowing fully well that he had someone else who also understood something that was going to happen. And that little flick from Ali Abubakar already sent two defenders, not just one, two defenders, the man marking him and the other defender who was supposed to be guarding the lines at the back. That one had to step out, and Alex Agawa was ready, and in his stride he already poked the ball away from him before he got in there, and was just able to measure it finally, and there was a goal slotted calmly in the back of the net, which was a fine build-up. And you also look at the movement across board. Anthony Okachi, the way he was moving on the other side of everything that was happening, also it was something to build. So I think all in all, 3SC have some things that are working for them. They're getting things right in their stride. They're working in tandem with each other in moments, and I think it's something that they can continually build on. Title race, I do not think yet.
Title race, Victor does not think yet.
I'm going to talk about Sunshine Stars. Do they have a manager now? Have they employed someone that
I don't think I've had any story coming from Sunshine
Stars. It's very interesting.
And they are in the relegations. I'm still going to go to the table. Okay, I can see where they are. But before we go there,
I wanted to say something. It's quite hilarious that they requested the wanted some changes to the venue, they did not deem it fit to update us. If not for, thankfully, 3SC's media department, they put on their whole what's it called and were ready to get on with it. Also, we had the league body
Yeah.
and some other brands come up with details of what's going to. How are you the host? You requested for a change of venue, a change of time, and you were given, and there was no post on anywhere on social media about that game. It's sad, it's ridiculous, and I
Yes.
think they should do better.
Football first.
Oh, come on. I beg, leave those bricks by there. I mean, next we are going to say brick by brick.
Bayelsa United,
Ah.
the level of Ikorodu City, something has changed for Lada and Boso, and it seems like they're a man in form. Picked the draw at El-Kanemi last time out, beating Ikorodu 1-0. It looks like for a man who was allegedly told, according to reports, I have 2 games to save your job. He's done close to 5 games after that now. Went to Rivers to pick 3 points, went to El-Kanemi to pick 3 points. Yes, lost in Ibadan, beat Ikorodu City. Seems like a corner has been turned. Seems like the ship has been steadied.
I'm going to say ultimatums work magic sometimes. Ultimatums in the NPFL actually. But then, if you have watched them very well, you know there is side that they're youthful and they have a good burst of energy, and they love to play, with the ball around. Transitions, movements of the ball with the ball, and I think goal scoring has been one of their problems, one of the things affecting them. And yes, I know that they need to create some magic in the final third, but I think Ladan Boso has gotten a lot of things up his sleeve that can actually bode well for them. Remember, he has managed the age grade national teams,
Yeah.
and he's starting to show that his experience at that level with the plethora of young players, at his disposal right there at Bayelsa, and the way he has been actually making them tick is quite something. And I think I like that. And we're having an increase in the number of teams that show us some explosive style of football nowadays. And I think we are more excited about them because it's not just, people are not focusing just on winning.
Yeah.
You're looking at how the team plays. Fans are now starting to demand that their team play a better way. And, this is something that we want to continually see. And if you have, the likes of Bayelsa, Ikorodu, Heartland with the way they play, Shooting Stars, you throw in the mix of the likes of Rangers, Rivers, you start to talk about Enyimba also. You say, yes, the youthfulness is coming in, the burst of energy, the fine movement is activated. But the problem for me is managers need to find the right balance. Like Ladan Boso, one of the things affecting him, I think, is the naivety of some of the players. Managers need to strike the right balance between youthful exuberance, the burst of energy, and some experience. Because no matter what it is, if you are going into a league, you don't go with naivety.
Yeah, sure.
You it's a steep curve. It's a very steep curve, and you have to work quickly on adjusting, and you need experienced heads to help you fill in those gaps. So I think it's one of those things that Ladan Boso and his boys will have to work on and do well. And it was quite strange. I'm waiting to see how Ikorodu City respond
to that loss.
this.
I was going to go there. I'm going to go there.
Because Aweroro has gotten something going.
Yeah.
The boys have gotten something going on, and so much has been said of their quality. But can they get themselves back on their feet? Can they just make this maybe a blip, not just something that will change the tide?
The tide again, yeah.
Because we don't want that to happen. We know what happened in the first few games of the season, and we know what happened when they turned the corner. And I'm all for increased psyche, mental strength. Let's go, let's get it. And so we are curious now. What happens next weekend?
That's a big question. What happened next weekend? And for Bayelsa United, they've in the last 8 games only 1 loss. I mean 1, 3, and 3, 4. That's a good start there for Ladan Boso. let's go straight to the table. How it looks like. Um, of course, at the top, separated on goals difference. Both Rivers, Remo Star at the top, and Rivers 29 points apiece. But they're segregated on goals. Just one goal separate both sides. 8 goals for Remo, 7 for Rivers. And Rangers are third with 27 points. Ikorodu fourth. Ikorodu and Shooting Stars are both fourth and fifth with 44 points apiece. Goals difference separate both sides. Sixth is El-Kanemi Warriors. Seventh is Kano Pillars, 22 points. El-Kanemi 6 with 23 points. Eyimba, Niger Tornadoes, Bayelsa United, and Abia Warriors are 8, 9, 10, 11 respectively, all on 21 points. Goals separate these 4 teams. 11th, okay, Abia Warriors are also 11th. Akwa United, Heartland are 12 and 13 with 20 points apiece, while Katsina United stay alone on 14 with 19 points. 15 and 16 position are Plateau United and Nasarawa United, all on 18 points. And of course, Sunshine Stars 17 on 17 points, Lobby 18 on 16 points, Bendel Insurance and Akwa United, the 2 teams 19 and 20, they meet today and both on 15 points. They meet today in Uyo when Aqua United host Bendel Insurance. 2 trouble teams 19 and 20. Somebody must take the points, or maybe they can decide to share these points as well. Of course, to end match day 16. Maybe a bit of a thought for that game, Aqua Bendel.
I do not exactly understand Aqua United this season.
It's unbelievable.
I do not, and I think Bendel Insurance, well, they are looking different now, a bit different from what we used to see under Monday Odigi. But then I think they should end a draw. Right there, Uyo. I think they should end a draw. For Aqua United, sometimes their home does not feel like home. that's the thing. And,
I mean, they look.
One of their first few games at home, you know what happened to them, right there, and you start to ask, what are these boys up to? What's happening in here? So there's going to be a lot more questions hanging over them. Will they respond? I doubt. That's why I said we'll probably see a draw. I think we'll see a draw from them.
And maybe Baba Ganago could be the man, the next manager to say BYE, or maybe he will say save his job. It's not looking so good for Aqua United now. Champion 2018, 6 years ago, and maybe they escaped relegation like by Whisker last season. You know, when you are dancing relegation zone for too long, something at the end of the day, that water will just carry you and say, whoa, wàhálà ẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù. Come and be going, something not be the NPFL, only nǹkan ṣe. Aqua United, better chance today, and of course, that's the review for March day 16, the NPFL. Of course, Ibadan Darling team in that position looks cool. What is it, a fake life? There and see.
Sammy.
When I do the fake life, it could do City also. Let's say they bounce back. By the time Imba finishes all their outstanding games, they won't play this weekend because already they've got a game, so they're going to play on I think Tuesday or Wednesday. A game on Tuesday or Wednesday definitely, and we just wait and see how this pan out. Of course, I'll just be a wrap on this edition of the NPFL and the Premier Football League podcast show, powered by Intercontinental Sport TV, and of course doing match day 16 review with Victor. Which result will have shocked you most over the weekend?
Was I shocked about any result?
Which would have?
I was still curious about that Plateau comeback. Because, well, fair to say, I expected a draw in that game at the most, because I thought Plateau United are not.
Yeah.
I thought Amunike might have his boys roaring against them, but them doing, yes, I think that was a game that would have shocked me, because I mean they literally snatched the victory from the jaws of defeat right there. and it says a lot about their determination to just win that game. And at the end of it all, whatever they brought was just too much for Heartland, and it was a dagger to the heart of Moniki and the boys. So now that their hearts don't land, Okan wants to buy
They're gonna be doing your combine the rest in the way in their next game. Of course, forget that you can support us, partner with us on this podcast, taking Nigerian football, reporting to another level entirely. I am the Sport Illuminator. Follow us on our social media and do's. Of course, let's ride together. It's December. Don't let your December be over dirty. It can be dirty to a minimum, to a moderate point, but don't let it be over dirty because you still got thousands of December to celebrate. That is if you can live up to 1,000 years. But then there are many Decembers to celebrate. So this 24 December should not be the end of you. What is coming in 2025 is even more bigger and superb than whatever you witnessed in 2024. So don't end it. Take it easy. We know you want to flex. You just win that money and leave. Don't worry. You can bring that money and come and support us. We'll help you anyway. Till next time, say God bless you. And of course, always support the Nigerian Premier Football League. The baby that keeps giving. Bye.